Hello, my strong friends. I thought I would do a Q&A. I asked you guys to ask me questions on Instagram. Haven't done one of these in a while, so I thought, why not? Let's do one for YouTube for old time's sake. If you guys are new here, then subscribe to my channel. My name's Meg and I make usually fitness videos, so in this Q&A, there'll probably be fitness talk, lifestyle stuff, and what have you. Okay, like this, if you guys want me to make more Q&As and just pop in to say hello. I can't lie. The first question that I saw, I tried not to look at any, but the first question that I saw was, have you gotten lipo? And I just thought, what a crazy question to ask me. That's a fair question, I guess. Like, just curious, have you ever had lipo? But just knowing me, obviously I know myself, the biggest reason why I wouldn't get lipo is because I'm so fucking lazy that like making the appointment and going, that just sounds like getting surgery sounds harder to me and more concerning to me than doing other things to achieve a fat loss or weight loss. That's just me. So I just thought that question was just so funny. I was like, are you crazy? I mean, I understand why someone who didn't know anything about health and fitness might wonder that about anyone, but I just was like, what? Okay, let me ask some real questions. Okay, I haven't prepared unless other than that lipo question. So let's get into it. How's the keto trail going so far? I don't know what the trail means, but keto so far is going well. I've just today recorded another keto video, so I have a few updates coming for you guys. I should have just already posted the 60-day update by now. So it's going well. To wrap up everything, it's really easy, and it's been the easiest way to have my body look the way it does now. There have been other times where I felt like, oh, I've reached the same body fat percentage, the same low body fat percentage relative to what I usually look like, and I felt like I put more effort forth in those situations, and generally it's just not really that hard for me personally. Now, I think everyone is different. Everyone's cravings are different. Where you get your energy from is different. Your food satisfaction is different than the next person. So just because I'm having a relatively easy time eating in this certain way doesn't mean it's going to be easy for you, and it doesn't mean that you'll have the same results as me at all. Hopefully, generally that gives you an overview. I think it's going very well, and for me, it is the lowest effort I've put forth to yield this result, which I'm pretty happy with. I haven't had a ton of weight loss. Initially, I lost a couple of pounds and I was fine with that, thinking that I would continue to lose, but that didn't happen at all. I've kind of leveled out and I feel like I just look lean now, which is good. I can see my abs now, which is, you know, for me, that's something that I like seeing aesthetically. And yeah, it's just nice to not look bloated all the time, which I feel like I always looked bloated and always had like a stomach pooch, which is fine. You know, I was happy with my body then, I'm happy with it now, but I just prefer not to have the pooch. Sometimes I have it, sometimes I don't. And right now, 60 days, I've been not having it, so that's a welcome change. What workouts do you recommend for someone who's just starting out? So if you're just starting out, have never been in a gym before, I'd recommend that you master some body weight movements first, like a squat, a hip hinge, a push, and a pull. You can do that by mastering these body weight movements: air squat or body weight squat, a hip hinge that's like kind of a deadlift. If you can master that at home, that'd be great, and a push-up and an inverted row. If you can master those on your own, you will set yourself up to be in a really good place to start adding resistance and adding a barbell eventually. I'm actually working on a program that'll help complete beginners, people who aren't comfortable with basic movement patterns at all, transition into some more serious barbell training, but hopefully that gives you the direction that you can look forward to. How important is formal education, aka college degrees, if you're pursuing a health and fitness job? It really depends on what you want to do. I have a bachelor's degree, but it is not in health and fitness, and I have formal certifications. I think the formal certifications and having a certification is very important if you're going to be training people or writing training programs. Please don't write them programs, for a couple of different reasons. One, you have done some work to get yourself certified so that you have a basic understanding of health and fitness. And two, a lot of times those certification programs will set you up for things like business insurance so that you can make sure that you and your clients are covered should any injuries or anything bad happen. So those are all things that you can benefit from. Do I think every coach needs to have an exercise science degree? No, but if you want to do certain things in the health and fitness industry, so if you want to conduct research, if you want to work on something like a college sports team, or if you want to work with youth athletes, you may want to consider getting an undergraduate degree. It depends. It really just depends. To be a personal trainer, no, I don't think you need to have a relevant undergraduate degree to pursue that field. But maybe you want to start becoming a personal trainer while you're in college to see if, or while you're like in a gap year, to see if that's something that you really want to pursue seriously and work your way up and make that a full long-term career. Most people who become personal trainers do not end up having that be their career, but it can be a great career. It depends on what you do. There are people who don't have undergraduate degrees and are awesome personal lifetime trainers, like personal trainers for a lifetime. They're not just doing it for like passing the time or in between things. They're trainers and that's their job and they're really good at it. So I don't think you need an undergrad degree. It can help in many different routes or paths that you may want to take in the health and fitness sphere. It all just depends. Court asks, do you ever allow followers or your Stronger by the Day community to train with at your gym with you? The answer to that is right now, no. We've halted a lot of the progress with building the gym. If you guys didn't know, I just moved to Fort Worth, Texas, and there we opened up a warehouse space for our business Strong Supply and a space so that I could make YouTube videos and Instagram workouts and have a private gym so that we could film and not bother people at a public gym, and of course have the space to make things great. So we were just in the beginning of doing that and starting to get a rhythm, and then COVID-19 happened. So fortunately, we're able to do so much online that our video editor, Jolie, is able to work from home, whereas we used to work in person together and film together. So, you know, we have this big space and no one is really using it right now, which is kind of frustrating, but I feel lucky that it could always be worse. So eventually I'm hoping that when everything's back to normal, we can have events and we can have people come visit the gym, and we can have times when it's okay for anyone to come visit, and we do like seminars there. That was the plan and still is the plan, but right now we're just waiting on the time and the resources to be able to finish building it and building it out, and a time where we can gather again. So more to come on that. Hopefully we'll get you guys in that gym. That'll be awesome. Someone asked, do you recommend detox drinks for reducing stomach pudge? It's really stubborn. So no, I don't recommend any kind of detox. Just generally, I don't think they're proven to result in fat loss. There's just easier ways to get rid of bloating. There's easier ways to get rid of stomach fat. Detoxing, I don't think, is a sustainable effort for fat loss, and for long-term fat loss especially. And I just don't think it's a really great thing to do to your body to restrict food for an entire period of time. I wouldn't recommend detoxing. Could you see yourself getting any more tattoos? Okay, so I have one tattoo on my forearm. It says Be More there in cursive, and it has a rose on it. And I never thought I would be someone who ever would get a tattoo, but I had a few years ago, one of my groups of lifters, we called ourselves the Be More group, and the whole point of it was to help women in a group training get strong and have fun and build some community together, and it was awesome. And it was all online, but we met up at the end of our training cycle, and we met up in New York and had a seminar and got to all meet in person, and we got tattoos. Some people got different tattoos. A few of us got Be More tattoos. So that's my Be More tattoo. I don't have any plans to get another tattoo. Maybe I'll get a Stronger by the Day tattoo or something, which would be crazy. But yeah, no plans to get anything else, but I'm not against the idea at all. Lauren asks, do you ever feel anxious or pressured because of social media? Oh, 100%, for sure. It's my job, so there's some pressure to post and be a resource for people, and when I don't post or when I'm not on social media, I do feel like, oh, I didn't really show up for work today the way that I'd hoped. So there's different kinds of pressure that I think most of us feel. The pressure that I most put on myself is the pressure to work hard. I don't really struggle with the pressure to look a certain way or to act a certain way, but I do have pressure that I put on myself to work hard. So when I'm not doing that, I feel bad. I hope that answers your question. Rachel asks, please explain what was important when you were house hunting. That's a really cool question. If you guys didn't know, I just moved into a house. Like I said, we moved to the Fort Worth area, and Ryan and I bought our first house, and it's so much bigger than any house we could have afforded in LA, which is really exciting because we do plan on starting a family soon and growing and living in this house while we're setting our roots here in Texas. Things that were important to us were wow factor. I wanted people to come into my house and say wow. And a lot of the houses that we saw in Texas were huge and beautiful in many ways, but a lot of them looked very similar. And I think this house had a different style. It's a more traditional colonial style house, and it had the wow that we were really looking for, mostly the huge windows that you see when you walk in the house, and the entryway has this beautiful black and white tile floor. So it had a lot of wow factor and also a lot of entertaining space. Hopefully we'll be able to have our family over a lot and people come to stay with us. Those were all important. We definitely wanted a pool, so we got the pool. I definitely wanted to move into a house that I didn't want to change a lot of, and I think a lot of the houses in this price point that we saw were needing some updates, kind of just style updates and layout updates that didn't have the look that I was going for. So I definitely didn't want to make many changes initially moving in. That's it. Space to grow and build our family. Someone asks, when are y'all getting married? Do you have the location set yet? I think we might get married in our house, and we were planning on furnishing the house, getting it ready, and then using the house as a location for our wedding venue. I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon, so we're just gonna not plan anything while we're dealing with coronavirus, especially since our families would be traveling in from so far away. Ryan's mom is in Spain, Ryan's dad right now is in Canada, so we don't want to give any pressure to anyone to travel to make it in, and we want everyone to be here, so we're not in a rush. We may be doing normal family planning things out of order eventually, but that's fine. Maybe we'll get married in like 2022, and hopefully by then we'll be so massively successful with our business that we can just do a crazy ass wedding. Who knows? Allie asks, how has your relationship with food and dieting evolved after overcoming binge eating? That's a good question. Getting out of that binge eating episode habit was something that required a lot of letting go and letting go of any restriction and letting go so that I could feel free in my food choices. The thing that I think was causing a lot of my binge eating episodes was feeling so restricted and feeling so imprisoned in my own dieting parameters that I just lost control because I had no more control to give. You know, I had no more energy to continue controlling it after a while. So, you know, after getting through that period, it would be like every day I would wake up, or every meal I would enjoy, and I would have this epiphany and be like, I can't believe I'm able to eat this and not stress, or I can't believe I can eat this and just stop. Stephanie Buttermore's All In journey has really been interesting to watch, because a lot of the things she's gone through and that freedom feeling that she's talked about is exactly how I felt. It's almost like I went all in without the guidance of anyone who was smart enough to tell me that I was on the right track. So it's been really interesting to see her get much more strategic with that process. And it was something that I knew I had to do just intuitively. I knew I had to just let go and just stop the control. So right now, I think, you know, my relationship with food doesn't look anything like that, because I've overcome that binge eating habit, and I overcame that because it was situational. My binge eating habit resulted as a response to extreme dieting and getting ready for a bodybuilding show. Not everyone experiences that when they're dieting really hard and getting ready for a show like that, but for me, that's what happened. So yeah, now I'm a completely different person. I don't have any struggles with food anymore, as far as I'm concerned. I think anybody who would look at my diet would think I'm a healthy eater, and I listen to my hunger cues now, and those were all things that I didn't think were possible when I was struggling with that. So my biggest piece of advice for anyone who's struggling with that is get help and talk to someone, because I wasted so much time not doing that. There's like so much freedom that comes with when you finally get your like a grip on it, and you just shouldn't waste time. Don't waste your precious years by struggling with that when someone can help you and make your life so much easier. Okay. Oh, someone said, you previously mentioned that you were a mean girl. What was your motivation to change? I don't think I was ever a mean girl. I think I was just an altogether huge asshole, and I was irresponsible, and I was just kind of rude. I don't think I was ever intentionally rude to women, but I had a lot of anger towards men and certain classes of people, if that makes sense. And I just, yeah, I had a chip on my whole shoulder, and I had things to prove. Now I don't feel like I have anything to prove to anyone. I do have moments where I catch myself thinking like, you didn't really need to say that, or that was kind of aggressive. But yeah, I can't think of like examples or like what my main motivation was to change. It's just over time, you start to give less shits about things that don't really involve you. At least that was my experience, thank God. So now I'm just so much more focused on positive things that help feed and clothe me and my family. I'm really involved with work and things that I do here. I'm just so much more interested in my own hobbies that I don't have that chip on my shoulder where I need to prove anything to anyone else. And I think that feeling of wanting to prove myself to other people was really what rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, and when I look back, rubs me the wrong way now. Pretty much ashamed of who I was a lot of times just because I was so stupid and such a rude idiot asshole who was also a loser. I was also a loser back then. So that's why I felt like I had so much to prove, because I was a fucking loser. Now I put so much energy into other things that were good for me and help other people, that I'm not a loser anymore, so I don't need to like prove that I'm not a loser. It's like a circle. Look, first let me explain what I meant when I said I was a loser. When I say I'm a loser, that meant that I didn't really have any interests that helped me do anything. A loser can mean a lot of things. Doesn't necessarily mean just because you don't have a certain job or make a certain amount of money doesn't mean you're a loser. You're a loser when you don't have anything to do, so you just like talk shit about people or socialize and don't have anything to talk about but talking shit about other people, and you don't have anything going for yourself. That's what I meant by being a loser. I don't want to seem like, oh, I live in this big house, so now I'm not a loser. That's not what I meant. If I were acting the way I did and lived in this house, I'd still be a fucking loser. Okay, changing faces. Are you naturally tan or do you use self-tanner? Oh my God, I'm the whitest person in the world. I'm very pale skin and I have freckles, so I try to stay out of the sun completely. Sometimes I'll like try to get like 10 minutes of vitamin D in the sun just to help my body, but I SPF my entire body and I use self-tanner. I use the Isle of Paradise self-tanning drops. Those are great because you just put it on with your lotion. It doesn't feel gross, doesn't feel sticky. That's what I use. Kayla asks, do you think you'll live in Texas for the rest of your life? Yes, actually, I think I will. There are amazing schools here, so I'm excited that the public school that we're living in, the public school district, is really great school. So I plan on at least living here for the next 20 some years while my kids go through school. And yeah, I don't know if I'll stay here forever. You know, maybe I'll want to retire on an island or something if I'm able to do that. But I do like it here. It's just kind of a slower pace of life. Everything is easier here just because you have more space. Traffic's not really bad. You can go to the store and know that you're gonna have parking. Yeah, just life is generally more chill here, which is fine with me for now. Okay, you guys, I think that's all for my Q&A. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you did. Comment down below if you guys have any other questions and I'll do my best to answer them. Subscribe if you're not already and give this video a like if you wanna see regularly Q&As, especially. It's just nice to update you guys and say hi because why did I say because? I know a couple of YouTubers who do them monthly, so if regular Q&As is something you want to see, just a little chit chat hello, let me know.